What's going on, guys? Jermaine Man back on the scene with another video. I want to check out this list of Blaxploitation films, and I'm not even sure why they call them that. And there used to be a lot of people claim that they were just a bunch of pimp movies and drug dealers and blah blah blah. And from memory, I don't recall that. Even well, the most popular ones like the Mac or Superfly, yeah, there were. Well, Superfly was a drug dealer, and the Mac was a pimp. But both movies had a message in them, so that's why I didn't see them as a bad movie. Because in both cases, their lives turned out messed up. Like the Mac, his mom's was deleted. His whole life was turned upside down. And in the end, he's riding the bus, getting out of there. It was over for him. So there was a message in there. So I didn't see that as a problem. Some people see it as a problem. In other movies that, let's say they weren't pimps and hustlers or whatever. Let's say Three the Hard Way. The main protagonists were black. So how is it? That doesn't make any sense to me. But let's check out this list. And I looked at a couple. And the one on Wikipedia is the biggest one. So I'm going to do several parts because if you look at this list is pretty long. So there's no way I'm going to go through it all in one sitting. You know, that's way, I can't do that all in one night. So I do maybe like 15 minutes or maybe 20, then I'm out of here. So let's get to it. Aaron loves Angela. The plot, a modern adaptation of William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. The film deals with the struggles of living in Harlem and intercultural divides of the 1970s. Two teenagers living in the slums of New York City were deeply in love with each other. Angela is Puerto Rican who lives in Spanish Harlem with her mother. She falls in love with Aaron, a young black basketball player. Their intercultural relationship is not approved by either of their parents, and they soon find out that the same prejudice is shared by their friends and neighbors. They rebel by meeting in secret, yet soon find themselves in danger. Doesn't sound like a pimp movie. Let's go to the next one. Abar, first black Superman. What was that? Hold on. a.k.a. In Your Face. Premise. Upon moving into a bigoted neighborhood, the scientist's father and persecuted black family gives a superpower elixir to a tough bodyguard who becomes a superpowered crime fighter. That sounds like a pimp movie, drug addict or whatever. Abby, horror film about a woman possessed by Yoruba spirit. Let's check the plot. Dr. Garrett William Marshall finds his, or a.k.a. Blackula, explains to his students Ishu is the most powerful of all earthly deities. Ishu is a trickster, creator of whirlwinds, chaos. While on an archaeological dig in a cave in Nigeria, Dr. Williams finds a small puzzle box carved with the symbols of Ishu, the whirlwind, the cock's comb, and the erect phallus. When Dr. Williams discovers the mechanism to the box and unlatches it, a tremendous wind blasts out, knocking Dr. Williams and his men against the cave walls and floor. The spirit released by Dr. Williams crosses the Atlantic to Louisville, Kentucky, to the new home of Dr. Williams' son, Emmett Williams, Terry Carter, and Abby Williams, Carol Speed. After Abby becomes possessed, her behavior becomes exponentially bizarre and dangerous. Okay, that's not a pimp movie. Cross 110th Street. Jim Harris goes with his partners to steal $300K from a mafia-controlled policy bank in Harlem. Disguised as police officers, the robbery goes wrong and results in the deaths of 7 men, 3 black gangsters, 2 members of the mafia, and 2 police officers. Lieutenant William Pope, a straight-laced black police officer, is assigned to work the case with aging Captain Frank Mettelli, a streetwise but aging Italian-American cop. Although Lieutenant Pope works strictly by the book and states that he's in charge of the investigation, he struggles to restrain Mettelli, who receives money from Doc Johnson, the leader of a black organized crime in Harlem. Over the course of roughly 24 hours, Pope and Mettelli race to get to the criminals before they can be hunted down by the mafia, which is also searching for Harris's crew. The Italians are led by Nick DeSalvo, a savage capo who plans to torture the robbers when he finds them to deter others from trying what they did. So that's a gangster movie. Action Jacks. I don't even know why that's on this list. Adiós Amigo. Let's see. Frontier con man Richard Pryor tries scams that never work, leaving his partner Fred Williamson behind to explain. It's a Western comedy film. Doesn't that fit the pimp pusher mode? Alice is enslaved on a 19th century plantation in Georgia owned by Paul Bennett. Attempting to escape, she runs through a vast forest and emerges onto a Georgia highway. In 1973, she meets Frank, a truck driver who helps her adjust to the truth of the time period, and she has been misled her whole life. After reading some books explaining when and how all other plantations ended, and tracking down Rachel, the ex-wife of her owner, she is able to convince Frank about the plantation. Inspired by Pam Grier's character in the film Coffee, she persuades Frank to go back with her so that they can exact revenge on Bennett. Okay, Amazing Grace. Grace is the widow who influences the local mayoral election in Baltimore, Maryland, after she discovers her somewhat slow-witted neighbor, Walton J. Walters, Moses Gunn, is being used to run for mayor by shady politicians and the incumbent mayor to further his own self-serving re-election efforts. That doesn't sound like a pimp drug dealer movie. So I'm gonna keep it moving. Badass. That's 2003. So I know that's based on the movies Pops made. So that's a new one. I'm not gonna mess with that. Bad, Black, and Beautiful. I had to search this one. $1975. Let's see what this is. When Johnny Boyles is falsely accused of murdering his ex-boss, he turns to the unstoppable attorney, Eva Taylor, to help him plead his case. Okay. Bad Bunch. Plot. The film is a study of prejudice and discrimination. There's a lot of race-themed movies back then. It tells a story of a black gang who run the streets of Watts and Jim, a white man who tries to befriend them. Prejudice stands in the way of any friendship and turns black against white in the mid-70s. Does so much to show society has progressed, but some it may seem that the more things change, the more they stay the same. Okay. Bamboo Gods and Iron Men. James Englehart plays an African American prize fighter, Cal Jefferson, who is on a honeymoon in Hong Kong with his new wife, played by Shirley Washington. He comes across a drowning Chinese man who he jumps in the sea to save. This now revived and very ungrateful mute man turns out to be someone they cannot get rid of. They finally get rid of him, so it seems. They purchase an item in Hong Kong which becomes the center of a gang's attention. Blah, 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 blah. Bare Knuckles. L.A. bounty hunter Zachary Zane is on a hunt for a mass serial killer on the loose. What is this? Why is this a Blaxploitation movie? What the hell is this? Zachary Kane, let me see. What does this guy look like? Doesn't look like a brother to me. I don't know. He don't look Negroidian to me, so I don't know about that one. Sherry Jack says she don't look black. There's a black person there. Yeah, I don't know about that one. The Baron, 1977. No link to that. Gotta look this one up. Let's see what's up. Black actor tries to make his own movie with an all-black cast, but to make it, he's forced to borrow money from the mafia. Complications ensue. Sound like a pimp movie. Beat Street. Don't know why this is on the list. Big Time. Big Time is a 1977 American film directed by Andrew Georgius, was budgeted with £300. Provided entirely by Motown Records. The story is written by Alton Dieter, Leon Isaac Kennedy, billed as blah blah blah. What is the movie about? Gotta look this one up too. Did I do that already? No. small-time con artist gets between the FBI and a suitcase filled with money. There's a lot of crime dramas, but back then those were popular. Being Along. Yeah, I like this movie. This one, I'm not going to read this. This was about, let's make it real quick. Being Along steals a bunch of Negro League players away from their teams. You know, it's a bunch of brothers that were traveling and playing baseball and stuff. It's not a pimp movie or anything like that. It got nothing to do with street stuff. Black, 2008. But y'all don't even know why that's on the list. Black Klansman. I'm going to skip that. Anything that was made beyond the 70s, I don't include that. There's no synopsis or anything. What is this about? Wanting revenge on a street gang for a rape attack. 4 young girls get together, take kung fu lessons, learn how to shoot from a gang called the Black Alley Cats, and search for the gang that attacked them. Sunshine Wood. Let me see what she look like. I don't know who that is. Let's see. Actress. I guess that's her. Let's see. No, that ain't her. Sandra Dempsey. Let's see. Oh, she passed away. Pretty much unknown actress. I don't know. Can't determine what this one is. I don't want to spend too much time trying to see. Do one search on this, but I don't see nothing. Then that's that. I don't know. I don't look like a sister girl for me. Skip that one. I don't know what that one is. But the Black Angels, 1970. So this list is not all that complete. Let's see. When an African American biker gang is tricked into believing that a white biker gang is planning a war, all hell breaks loose. I don't know if I've ever seen that one. Yeah, back in the stuff, there's a lot of biker gang movies. You know, gangster this, gangster that. That was the norm back then. So, I mean, like I said, it's not like, you know, it was only black movies were crime dramas. Those were the best movies back then. Clint Eastwood, Charles Bronson, stuff. Angie Dickinson, Big Bad Mama. Lots of TNA in that movie. Black Belt Jones. It's a Jim Kelly movie. Ooh, that's too much. I ain't reading all that. Just read a little bit. The Mafia have learned of the construction of a new civic center and have bought up all the land at the intended building except building site except for a karate dojo owned by Pop Bird, Scatman Crothers, yeah, I remember him, who refuses to give up his property. The Don contacts an indebted drug dealer named Pinky, who laundered $250K from the Mafia that he subsequently loaned to Pop Bird in order to get the dojo built. The Don orders Pinky to either get his money back or repossess the property. Black Belt Jones, Jim Kelly, an expert martial artist and hand for hire, is contacted by his old friend Pop to help protect the dojo, though Pinky intends to offer Pop to trade the building in exchange for clearing their mutual debt to the Don. He accidentally kills him during an intimidation attempt. Before he dies, Pop tells Pinky that he couldn't give them the building even if he wanted to, as it belongs not to him but his daughter. So we get that. That's just a crime drama. Black Belt Jones 2, Tattoo Connection. So you already know what that is. The Black Bounty Killer. Boss Nigger. Upon finding a wagon under attack by bandits, two black bounty hunters, Boss and Amos, Fred Williamson and Durrell Martin, whatever how you say that. Oh, I remember him. Respectively, intervene and save Clara May, a black woman, Carmen Haywolf. Upon inspecting the bodies, the bounty hunters find several have rewards to their name, and one holds a letter from the mayor of a nearby town, San Miguel, inviting him to become sheriff on the recommendation of fugitive Jed Clayton. Oh, it's a Western. I'm not going to read all that. Black Brigade, Carter's Army. A redneck officer, Stephen Boyd, is put in charge of a squad of all black troops charged with the mission of securing an important hydro dam in Nazi Germany. Their failure would delay the Allied advance into Germany, thus prolonging the war. These African Americans have been relegated to cleaning latrines and therefore have little real military training, but Captain Bo Carter has no choice. He leads a ragtag unit to secure the dam, and the men reveal themselves as heroic. So let's see who's in there. Robert Hooks. Yeah, I remember him. Susan Oliver. Rosie Gear as Big Jim. Yeah. Moses Gunn. Richard Pryor. Glenn Turman. Billy D. Paul Stewart. I don't know if I've ever seen this. I may have. Probably. I don't know. Don't remember. To be honest with you. The Black Bunch. It's a lot of black this and black that. Same thing with superheroes. I never liked that. Can they come up with a more inventive name? Black Bunch. try this one. In Africa, 4 Native women join and are hired to find a wealthy man's son who disappeared and used the opportunity to get revenge on a gang of mercenaries who have massacred the inhabitants of the woman's village. Never heard of that one. Black Caesar. All right, I have this movie. It's a gangster movie. Tommy Tibbs, Fred Williamson, an African American who grew up in Harlem, New York City as a kid. He was brutally assaulted by a cop named McKinney. The incident led to him to a life of crime. It's a gangster movie. Black Cobra. Is an Italian Blaxploitation series of 4 action films. All these films centered on Robert Bob Malone, Fred Williamson, as a maverick police detective who deals out his own brand of justice. So there's Black Cobra, Black Cobra 2, Black Cobra 3, Black Cobra 4. Black Connection, run, nigga, run. Nothing under that. Let's see. Black Connection. No synopsis. Same link. Nah, here it is. Las Vegas drug dealer is in deep with the Italian mob over a large amount of missing cocaine. Must get creative to get out from under the mob before they can take the ultimate course of action. Gangster movie. There's definitely a lot of gangster movies. Black Devil Doll, 2007. That's too new. Black Devil Doll from Hell, 1984. Anything beyond the 80s, I don't Black Emmanuel. Is this even? That's just what she's called, or let's see what this is. I think somebody just looked at the title and just. Can we just get some pictures with this junk, man? I guess that's supposed to be her. Yeah. Guys, this is a Blaxploitation movie. It's dumb. Black Eye. A lot of Fred Williamson movies. Plot: a Los Angeles private investigator is called to investigate multiple murders that are concealed or connected to a cane that was stolen from a deceased silent movie star. Crime drama. That was Black Eye. Black Fist. I'm going to cut it off at Black Eye, and I'll do a part 2 in the next video. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap it up because I don't want to spend too much time reading through this. So I'm going to break it up part 2. We're still in the B's, so leave the Black Eye. Alright, that's it. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.